program Improve Seeds or your first agricultural television in the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. And of course, I am Hilda Homself, Fatwa, your usual host. And today we're going to talk about something that has been bothering farmers, something that has been a problem, and with our guest, of course, Mr. Lawal, Shola Lawal, who is always ready and ever ready to share and explore all different kinds of topics on our show. When we come back from the break, we're going to tell you what we are going to discuss today. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. This is Improve Seed. Welcome back. This is still ARCN Television in the capital city of Abuja. And I have here always and ever ready my intelligent, brilliant farmer, consultant, agric officer, Mr. Lawal Shola Lawal. Welcome to the program.
Good day, madam. Good day, Nigerians.
And thank you so much for always finding time to be here with us.
It's my pleasure.
Alright, the topic, of course, is middleman involvement. Middleman involvement has been a cry that a lot of farmers, have been crying, complaining about. After they had their work in the farm, after harvest, taking it to the market, involvement of the middleman, and the farmer ends up going home with nothing. Who is a middleman?
Middlemen, they are a very, very important actor in the food chain. Because it's just in like any other industry where you have the producer, you have the consumer. The middlemen are always at the middle.
As the name implies.
Yeah, they are always at the middle, linking products and services, taking products and services from the producer to the consumer, so that the producer doesn't really have to bother him or herself with the product, with the problem of distribution and marketing or warehousing, or how you are going to be transporting or getting your product to the doorstep of the final consumer. So basically what the middlemen do is to provide logistics. They provide logistics in terms of transportation.
Okay.
They do bulk buying.
Okay.
So they take up in large quantity and then they distribute. Those are basically what they do.
Wow.
Yeah, but we have it the other way around, whereby we have some middlemen who are taking advantage of their strategic position in the value chain, and they use it maximally, and the producer and the consumer end up serving the middlemen. So it's not enough for you to be a producer. When you produce a certain commodity at a unit price, the middlemen now end up being the one to dictate the price. They be the one to dictate the tune of the market, going outside what their function is actually, which is to distribute and to transport. But now they are in charge of dictating the price of commodity, and I think we'll get to there.
Now, what are some of their excesses?
Yeah, as I've said earlier, in a normal circumstance, what they do is bulk buying, logistics, transportation, and then distribution.
That is supposed to be their main.
Yeah, those are their major role. And anything outside that will end up enriching them, and whereby taking what resources that are supposed to go to the producer, they take it to be their own, and also take excess from the consumer. Now, how do they do this? Instead of them to do their normal bulk buying, buy commodity, transport, in some cases do warehousing, then distribute. Now, along the value chain, they will now do what we call hoarding. Now, anytime they do hoarding is basically holding commodities. And when they hold commodities, they create artificial scarcity, and they tend up to drive up the prices. So, in that aspect, they will be cheating on both sides, the producer and the consumer, and taking excess gain to themselves. And if you look at it, the majority of middlemen we have in Nigeria, they don't really have the facility to perform their duty. They don't have a store, they don't have a physical store. Majority of them don't even have logistical arrangement. What they do mostly in Nigerian situation is they go to the marketplace and they wait for the farmer to bring it. The farmer will take their commodity to the local market, and the middlemen will be waiting there to buy. You know, they've not really expanded any resources. They've not provided any form of transportation for that product they are buying. They wait at the local market to buy. Farmers are the ones who produce, farmers are the ones who transport. And in a normal settings, the middlemen are supposed to go to the rural community to buy harvest from the farmer and bring it down to the cities to sell. And in that case, they've already offered a service in form of transportation. But in this kind of case, where we find ourselves, they wait at the market. The farmer will be the one to transport. Now they take those products and they will hold it, and they will put excess price on it. And farmer who is taking maybe 1 naira per unit, they will be taking 5 naira per unit without actually offering anything. So in this kind of case, they have a kind of network also, whereby they work together. They don't work in isolation. Whenever they want to do hoarding, they want to hold the commodity. Not only one, not 10, not 20 middlemen will do it. They do it together.
There's a union.
They have a union. So if, for example, they want to hold palm oil, for example, or they want to hold yam, or they want to hold dry maize, for example, they hold it until the price they want. And you know, in economics, when there is an hoarding of supply, the price will be driven up. So they do that intentionally to take undue gain.
That is quite unfortunate.
So on the part of the farmer, they sell to them and they are the one taking the gain. On the part of the consumer are paying through through the nose. So they are the middle. But actually, in a normal situation whereby we have a control system, a checking system that will do all this checking and balance, middlemen serve a purpose.
So what are some of the purposes?
Yeah.
What are the advantages?
Their advantage is that in a situation whereby we have middlemen who are doing what they are supposed to be doing, the farmers will not be bothering themselves with logistics. Your own is to produce as a farmer and you harvest. Middlemen will come and they will offtake from you. They will buy in bulk. That is one of their advantage, because a farmer cannot be selling to thousands of consumers. Imagine you have a ton of maize and you want to be selling to household, each family. You will spend so much resources in doing that. It will be very, very cumbersome. As in, it's stressful to do that. But middlemen will take up that responsibility of the farmer. Let the farmer bother himself with producing another circle. He will come and will buy the whole product in bulk so that the farmer will get his money in bulk. And then transport again. After bulk buying, they will transport, bring it to where it is needed. And if need be, they do warehousing for it. Especially in commodities that can be stored, like yam. They do warehousing. They will be the one to hold it until they distribute it to retailers and all the sort, or to the final consumer. Those are their merit. They provide logistics, they transport, and they store, and they distribute.
What are these? Okay, of course.
So the other part of it that they are doing, which is not their duty, and they are doing it for an economic gain, is the hoarding. When they hold it beyond what it should be. Imagine, and they understanding the situation in Nigeria, over 80% of our farming activity in this country is rain-fed. We practice rain-fed agriculture. So everybody tends to go to the farm when the rain starts. So during the dry season, farming activity go down a little bit. Nobody is cultivating because there's no much needed irrigation facility and all those facilities to farm during the something. So it tends to affect, it tends to make our food supply seasonal, which is not supposed to be, because consumption is not seasonal. So production also should not be seasonal. So now, when farmer produce in a season and the dry season come, no more production. Production is not coming. But the one that's available, the middlemen are holding it. Definitely this price is going to be skyrocketing. So they do that purposely for an economic gain.
What would you tell the farmers? What advice do you have to tell them?
Now, so in order to break this kind of jinx, there is what we call agricultural marketing. You are not supposed to be at the mercy of these people. So nothing is wrong if you farm as a cooperative. You farm together, and then you look for off-takers. When I say off-takers, I mean people who will buy in bulk, not necessarily middlemen. You can approach a company. If you are a group of maize farm, you can approach a company making cornflakes, for example, or company making powdered pap, for example. So you tell them you are into production, and then you reach agreement with them. So at the end of your production cycle, you can sell to them straight and still enjoy the benefit you'll be enjoying selling to the middleman who is going to buy from you in bulk. You are going to be selling to them, to those companies also in bulk. and you'll be having your money in bulk. That is one of the ways by which farmers can bypass this kind of problem. That is number one. Another thing is that now, production as a farmer, production should be market oriented. Now, most times, the reason why farmers don't have any option is because they produce and they don't study their market before they produce.
Okay.
So when they produce, they fall into the problem of marketing. And anybody that is coming at that time, the farmer is ready to sell. Because the farmer is seeing it as a way of help. But now, if you do market survey before you go into production, you identify a need, you identify an hungry market. You know definitely, okay, this so environment, there is pressing need for sweet potato. There's pressing need for this, there's pressing need for that. Okay, in this kind of community, there is excess of this. That excess, you will not be going into it.
So you
go to commodities that there is need for. If you do this, nobody can come to you with any kind of price because what you are producing is highly needed. So another thing is that farmers should form network. They should network within themselves so that they can share information, they can share market information.
Sure.
And that is one of the benefits of cooperative. When you belong to farmers cooperative, all this kind of information, market information, where products are going, the prices, the current prices, the fluctuation in prices, you'll be able to know so that you will not be selling your commodity at giveaway price. And there is nothing stopping farmers from going into marketing themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, marketing and processing. If you are a vegetable farmer, you grow cucumber, you grow fruit, pineapple, carrot, there's nothing wrong for you having a store, having a shop, a corner shop in the city where you sell fresh commodities, fresh vegetables to farmer. You doing that, you might be making some kind of sacrifice, but you will sell your product at an higher premium because you will be selling directly to the final consumer. So those are the ways by which our farmers can bypass this kind of problem. Number one is that you form a network among farmers, join a farmer cooperative, and also reach out to off-takers. Do market survey before you produce. Reach out to off-takers, people who are needing your services, who need your product to produce, companies, processing companies, and all the rest. Those are the ways by which farmers can do away with middlemen.
Alright, we're still with Mr. Lawal, an expert, someone that is ready and is excited whenever he's talking about agriculture. And we're talking about middlemen involvement, how our farmers can get rid of this, and how the middlemen too can achieve and play their roles in the aspect of farming, where there will be balance between the farmer and the middlemen. They are not enemies, rather they are supposed to work together, for the progress of farmers and for the progress and development of Nigerian agriculture. We will be right back. We'll go on a short break where he will tell us more about how an advice on how farmers can get themselves or get their products into the market, how they can preserve their fruits, and also the right thing to be done, and also advice to government and how governments are going to be involved in the settlement between the rivalry between farmers and middlemen. This is to ARCN TV Abuja, and this is Improved Seed. Don't go anywhere. If you're just joining us, this is Improved Seeds on your first agricultural television. Before we went on break, we were talking about the synergy between middlemen and the farmers, and the need at which they need to work together, the need at which both parties need to achieve whatever aim they have. And of course, Mr. Lawal has been doing justice to it. So, sir, what is your advice to the government first?
Yeah.
How do you intend, what advice do you have? How will they get involved and see how to balance this rivalry between two parties?
Yeah, on the government side, the best thing to be done will be in terms of control and monitoring.
Okay.
So, because farmers and middlemen, they are basic actors, as in they should be working together for service, for food delivery to the final consumer. And if I'm not mistaken, the welfare and security and safety of the citizen is the number one business of the government. So if government can step in terms of control, so nobody should be taking undue advantage of the other. So if you want to do business, if you want to come into the food chain business, come in, offer your service, take what is belonging to you, but don't hoard, don't bastardize the system, don't inflate price, don't cause hardship to consumer, don't cause artificial price increase because of your own economic gain. So all this kind of thing should be done in terms of legislation. So if you are coming, for example, if you are coming into the food chain as a logistic service provider, if you want to provide logistics, let us know you want to provide logistics. And logistic people, what they do is haulage. You know, we all know all these trailer operators. They bring in grains from the north. They bring in cow from the north to Lagos, down south. And then going back, they will take commodities from the south, going to the north. So all these services provided by the middlemen should be unbundled. Should be unbundled. Let us have a clear cut. People who are doing logistics services, let us know them. So people who are into warehousing, let us know them. Let them register with government. People who will be doing retail services, let us know them. People, we have a whole lot of them. ShopRite. What ShopRite is doing is partially is agricultural marketing. Because you go to ShopRite, you
get
find
everything fresh.
Yeah, you have fresh commodities there. What they are doing there is retailing. If you want to go into retailing, you can go into retailing and market agricultural produce. So if all these services are compartmentalized, as in we can differentiate them, we can unbundle them, monitoring, control will be very, very easy. And nobody will be taking undue advantage of the farmer. Nobody will be taking undue advantage of consumer. Everybody will operate on a level playing ground and the system will be very transparent. But in a case whereby the middleman will be bothered with transportation, will be bothered with
even the labeling of the farm.
Yeah, with warehousing, with distribution, it gives room for because you are giving the middleman too much power. Too much power. If the middleman cough, the whole system will cough, because is providing so much service. We are giving them too much importance. So there is so much of line of business we can create in the middleman aspect. So government should look into that way and put forward legislation, laws that will guide everybody.
And punishment for anyone.
Punishment for this. And another thing is price ceiling. Government should set price. Set price for commodity in line with economic reality. Okay, when you look at all these things, should be done by CBN, I think. Set price for commodity that will guarantee a minimum token, a minimum amount farmers are to make on a ton of each commodity. That no commodity, for example, no ton of maize should be sold lesser than so amount.
Well, do you think that is possible? Because when you look at it, the farmer now, if you say CBN should do, I feel should be a collaboration between the farmer, the CBN and Ministry of Agriculture and
Yes.
Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security.
Yes.
Because a price of fertilizer now is almost 25,000, if not more.
Yeah.
And then if I use that, you know,
that is exactly where I'm going.
Okay.
Because the government, all this calculation, the cost of production, government know prices farmers use. The cost of irrigation, the cost of seed, the cost of fertilizer, the cost of labor, everything combined together.
Sure.
And they will reach a figure that, okay, if a ton of maize should not sell below so amount. If you have your way and you have a better quality, you can sell above. But it should not be below so amount to guarantee a reward for labor, a minimal reward for labor on the part of the farmer, and a price that will not also harm the pocket of the consumer. So all these things should be in place of our legislation, and if all these things is being done properly, it will bring a kind of just and balanced system. We have a kind, not that somebody will be doing A, another person will be doing C. So it puts everything in order, and all actors in the food chain will know their boundary and they will know their function.
I will of course adding the government to it. They need to also come in and play their role. Everybody should have a square share in everything that has to do with consumption of agricultural products. There is no need for anyone to take more burden than the other ones. This is how we wrapped it on Improved Seeds, or your first agricultural television, ARCN. And today we talked about the involvement of middlemen. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, keep a date with us next time for another episode that will be enlightening and explore your mind. Thank you so much, Mr. Awal. You're always here. Let me finish this one. You're always here, and always your door should always be open for us. Can I tell you?
This is like a second home to me already. So it's always a pleasure being here discussing agriculture and all that.
Thank you so much. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, ARCN TV and Radio. We just click, you watch a lot of our programs where you will be enlightened on agricultural products. From everybody here is take good care of yourself. And I remain Hilda Homself, what I'm saying. Bye for now.